Am I the asshole for letting my pregnant daughter move in with me even though my girlfriend doesn't want her to? I 40 have an 18-year-old daughter with my ex-wife, call her Maddie. We divorced when she was 7, and I have her 3 weekends a month. Her mom moved to a suburb almost an hour outside the city to be closer to her family, and for a better school. My work was in the city, and after a while Maddie got sick of all the driving and asked if we could go to a different schedule. We talked most days on the phone, and I have been very involved in her life. She's a great student, graduated with over a 4.0, has a lot of friends and a, what I thought, very nice boyfriend. She has no idea what she wants to do with her life, and had already decided to defer her scholarship a year to take classes at the community college and work. I also have a girlfriend, Vera, 37, and she gets along with Maddie great. We've been together about 2 years, and she just moved into my house a few months ago. Edit, her told roommate got married and she couldn't afford rent alone. We'd been together almost 2 years, and I was considering proposing, so it seemed like a good idea after she couldn't find another place. She pays the electric and water bills, but my house is paid off, so I just pay taxes, insurance, and the other utilities, and it's been great. I didn't really date much the past few years between Maddie and work, so it's nice having someone always around. Vera doesn't want kids of her own, and I don't want any more, so it's been great. So for all that, Maddie is pregnant and her mom has kicked her out. Her boyfriend has another year left of nursing school and lives in a college apartment with roommates. She is, of course, staying here for now and found out late. She's due in January. She and her boyfriend went over the options and decided to keep the baby. She told me very meekly and asked if she could stay. I told her, of course, she knows this is disappointing, but she'll never stop being my baby. And if this is what's going to happen, I'm here to support her within reason. As in, I'm fine babysitting if she has work or class, and she will keep working and going to school, but I'm not babysitting for her to party or hang out with friends. If the boyfriend bails, which I was as kind as I could be, but told her happens even with the nicest boys, she would need to file child support. And I would give her grace before and after birth. But when she's recovered, she will go back to doing chores on top of baby ones. I told her and the boyfriend to sleep on it, and they did, and came back with actual thoughtful responses, and even a budget goal that I found impressive. So the tiny bedroom next to Maddie's that is currently home to a treadmill I never use is going to be a nursery. Of course, I've kept Vera in the loop during all of this, and she seemed really understanding until I told her the plan. She got upset and said if she wanted to raise a baby, she'd have one of her own. She said she didn't sign up for this and is not okay with it, and demanded I rescind the offer, that Maddie is 18 and needs to figure it out on her own if she wants to keep the baby. I told her I wouldn't do that. She'll always be my daughter and needs help. She threatened to move out if I didn't tell Maddie to get out, then got mad that I told her I understood. Now she's avoiding the both of us, but still staying here, or being snippy. I don't know what she expects me to do, but it's making the entire house anxious. Update. My last post got a little overwhelming. I'm still glad I did it. Reading the comments, I just got to the point I was like, what am I doing? I asked Vera to talk. She started. She actually did kind of apologize, said she was just stressed because she's expected Maddie to either keep the same custody schedule or maybe a bit more, but not full-time and certainly not with a baby. And then she didn't think I'd actually let her live here with the baby. She said she'd be able to work with a compromise of Maddie and the boyfriend, let's call him Doug, getting their own place when he started working full-time, and they could promise to never ask her for help. I guess she thought as long as she has an end in sight, she would be able to handle it. I told her I understood, but her behavior was out of line, and I can't see us working out after this. She was upset and seemed shocked and got pretty mad. I told her she was welcome to stay in the basement, finished, walk out with a kitchenette, for a month while she found a new place, and I'd pay her back for the bills she'd paid, $790, so I rounded up to $1,000. She wasn't happy at any of this and was freaking out, so I called and asked Maddie if she could stay with Doug for the night. I offered to give Vera some space, and she told me to fuck off. I was working from home that day, so I was around, but not in her way at all while she moved her things downstairs. She had work that night, and let me know the next morning she'd be moving to her friends. I offered help, but again she said no and left her key on the counter. I changed the security code, but told her if she left anything there just to let me know, and I'd let her in to come and get it. So I thought there'd be no drama. I was actually obviously sad, but felt better about the whole thing. We can't prove anything, but Maddie's carnivore plant started rapidly dying the last few days, and she said a bunch of her concentrated fertilizer was gone. We all know not to touch them or water them, as in she had me install rain barrels because they can't have tap water. She's devastated and hasn't said it directly, but I think we both think Vera did something to them. I've asked her if she wants me to do anything about it, and she said no. And at one point, Vera sent her a nasty text saying she's the reason I'm alone and she hopes she's happy. I told her to block her. I don't know if she feels guilty or like she deserves it. She doesn't even want me to replace them and said she'll just try to salvage some of them. So if anyone knows of good sites in the US to buy pictures or pings, hit me up. So not great. I'm gonna stay single for a while, obviously. But there's some good news. I have a female friend who Maddie has known forever and has had kids, and she took her out to lunch. My issue was that Maddie thought she could power through and take courses in the spring with a newborn. She wouldn't listen to me and told me she'd make it work. My friend was able to convince her that one semester wasn't going to ruin her life, so that is a positive. And the boyfriend, Doug, I talked with his parents. They are like me, not thrilled, but going to be supportive and excited for a grandbaby. They live over an hour away though, but told them I had a spare room they could use when they visit. And Doug, who does work part-time while he's in school, I told him yes, work this semester, but next semester, your #1 job is to finish your degree no matter what. I am willing to support them both financially and with the baby more than I normally would next semester because I know the best way to ensure my grandbaby has a good life is making sure their dad has his degree and a good job. He seemed to understand and was thankful. Maybe he's not as much of a ding-dong as I thought he was, LOL.